What up, though? Ledge here, top tier podcast sports. Here to talk about round of 16. U.S. men's national team bows out in a familiar spot in the round of 16 again versus the Netherlands. Credit to them. Well coached. Probably got the best all around coach manager in the World Cup, in my opinion. Louis Van Gaal is just, he's excellent with tactics, shape, formations, all of that good stuff, man. He was brilliant. He didn't really have to do too much tactical as far as like a scheme or things like that. They just played football with more talented players than us. We made it as far as we could. I'm gonna be honest, we looked a little gassed, and that falls on public enemy number one, Triple G, Greg Berhalter. If we didn't have as talented of a group, young group that we've had ever, we would have we wouldn't have made it this far. I think this is a classic case of talent bailing out a manager more than anything. Um the problem is he could have added more talent to this roster, which would have gave us a better chance, not just in this game, but in the group stages, where if you really go back and look at it, we could have topped the group. Think better players, maybe get you a goal against England. Better players, maybe you're up 2-0 versus Wales, win the game 2-1, win the match 2-1. I understand Zimmerman made a terrible play on Bell in the penalty box. Uh in the penalty area, it was just terrible. But I think with better players, you win that game. I think you better players, you get a goal against England, and you'll be able to rest players. And that matters because it seemed like we played our hearts out, especially against England. I thought England was our best game from beginning to end. And it's funny that a scoreless, you know, match was our best game. While I think the first half of Wales was our best attacking game, and I thought against Iran, I thought we were good, and we got the goal we needed to get. But that was a sloppy game. You look at it, loose touches by the king of loose touches, and just I don't know. He got a heavy first touch. Anthony Robinson, Des had some heavy first touches. McKinney, I call him Weston mid Kenny. He a little mid to me. I know he's more flamboyant. He's the funny one, the charismatic one, and he does exciting things. But to me, I feel like his play is too inconsistent to be a world class starting midfielder if we're trying to reach that level. Um, and yeah, I just feel like we dropped the ball. We could have. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's terrible, right? So let's just talk about this game, for instance. Like I said, we looked gassed, but we had an early chance with Pulisic. I thought he was offside. He actually was on. Whiffs at a golden opportunity, and you can't do that. You can do that in friendlies. You can do that against lesser comp. Against Iran. You might get some more chances, so you can do that. You can't waste that opportunity against a team like Netherlands. Transition, they they're down the pitch. Gakpo, Depay, Dumfries was world class today. Man, oh man, Dumfries was amazing. I think he got a goal and two assists. Awesome work. And he was a terror for Anthony Robinson the whole match. And yeah, it was just more of the same. Bad first touches from him. I thought this was clear as day. Clearly Tyler Adams' worst game. He picked the wrong time to have his worst game. Not just with not tracking back for Memphis Depay with the first goal, but also just his energy level was down, and he could have just been gassed too. And he made some errant passes. There were a lot, like I don't know what was going on. I feel like America as a whole, we were just really casual on the ball when they applied pressure. It's like we weren't used to getting pressed on or something because we were just very casual on the ball, over dribbling. Sometimes I think Des, Pulisic, and Weah over dribbling, and Jesus Ferreira presented absolutely nothing, and that's why this falls on Greg Berhalter, right? Um, Thought it was terrible. He tried to close out the game last game with Haji Wright bringing on Haji Wright and Jesus Ferreira started this game. It was just abysmal. Gio comes on and within 5 minutes immediately looks much better than both of those guys. Much better. Listen, if we don't have a nine that's going to hold the ball, hold the play, hold possession, get the others involved, and we're going to go false nine, you get the most talented player that can help play in a false nine. You don't get Jesus Ferreira against the Netherlands. You just don't. That's just like common sense. What it I want somebody in the press conference to ask, what did you think Jesus Ferreira was going to provide putting him in that? I would love to hear his thoughts. Like, well, I was thinking maybe he could, because he did nothing. In fact, the second goal, which to me was the killer. All right, I think Memphis scores around the 30th minute, somewhere in there. Literally 1 minute left to go in stoppage time to close out the second half, the first half, excuse me. There's a side throw in. Jesus Ferreira's over there. I don't know if he tries to lay the ball off with his back foot. I don't know. He just makes a weird flick and it creates a turnover right down the right hand side to where Dumfries is. He gets his second assist. You got Des sleeping at the wheel, which is we can't like he's as good as he is offensively, and when we're moving up the pitch, and we got our right back and our center back moving forward, he looks dangerous. But to me, he's just a better version of Yedlin. DeAndre Yedlin was the same, although he just isn't as good as Des going forward. But that's what he was, a very diminutive, statured right back who can bomb forward and get involved, but you can catch him sleeping at the wheel on his side when it's time for him to defend. Des did it, and then to close the game out after we score a fluke of a goal by Haji Wright. Say what you want. I'm not giving him credit. Like, he didn't know what he was doing. He missed the golden chance by a heavy touch. I don't know what's up with America, our generation. I don't know why. I think we're the heavy touch nation in the world. There's teams ranked way behind us in FIFA rankings that just play a better style of football, that just play a cleaner style of football. Like our best players, Pulisic, Rayner, like they always. I don't know what's up with us with these heavy first touches. Like we need academies all across the U.S. to just work on three things: first touch, passing, and ball retention, and possession. Because athletically, we're going to be dynamic, right? We're like America just produce really good athletes. So the running, the jumping, the skill moves, we'll get all of that, right? Those three things every academy needs to pound into the fabric and foundation of the U.S. men's national team. Passing, ball retention, and first touch. Because I think that let us down in this match. It let us down at times against Iran, England, and against Wales. All right. I just don't. I didn't see the need to go back to Zimmerman after CCV played very well. I didn't see the need to play Jesus Ferreira at all. It was just. And then listen, we're down 3-1. It's like I think it was like a couple of minutes left in stoppage time. You bring on Jordan Morris to do what? The hell was Jordan Morris? What was he going to do? Here's the fact. The fact is, no nine was going to make this team like take it from here to elite because we just don't have that in our pool. But I can seriously, and I did. If this isn't hindsight, I said this when it happened when I seen the roster going into the World Cup. I said there's no tactical reason to ever justify sitting the most talented striker at home, the most gifted, the most clinical. It's Pepe. Pepe is the most clinical, clean. He's the better. He's the best finisher out of all of them. In a game, when you listen, you even if you brought him on, let's say you had him instead of Ferreira on, right? Let's say you had him on the roster. I'm saying, not this game. And let's say in the group stages you never played him. That's fine. But in this game is when you need the most clinical strikers. Why? Because when you go against better opposition, America isn't at a point where they're going to have that much control of the game and they're not going to have that many chances. So your margin for error is very small. You're probably going to have 2 to 3 chances the whole match. You got to bury at least one of them, right? And then let your stars be the stars. Let your Pulisic and Reina, let them do their thing and hope for the best. But you cannot tell me that this was the best complete roster he could have had out there. I credit the team, the best players on the team for getting us here. I mean, listen. Tim Reen was a stud all tournament. Pulisic did his best. Again, he's gonna people gonna look at him for squandering that chance. It happens. The bet I've seen Ronaldo miss chances. Messi, he's not that, of course. But if it wasn't for him, we don't even qualify to get to the round of 16 because he was the only one in the game versus Iran to get in the box to score. Nobody, go back and look at that game. Nobody else was even remotely close to the penalty area. And no one was in that position and made that run. I watched this game against the Netherlands. And I believe it's Wea who sends a beautiful ball near post. And like Jesus Ferreira is like, he has to be like damn near at the top of the penalty area, nowhere near the near post, nowhere near. Like I don't know his purpose. That's a Greg Berhalter mistake. I think he stifled us from potentially making it to the quarters because with a better team, we probably get better results in the group stages. Finish first, England second, or because I thought England was beatable that day. I watched. I listened to Tifo. Shout out to Tifo from the Athletic. I listen to Football Daily, European, like all of these YouTube. They hated that performance from England. All of those publications, YouTube aficionados said we played the better football than England did in that game. It was there for the taking. We just didn't have the pieces to make that work. You win that game and then you beat Iran. You win the group. You're not playing the Netherlands. You're playing Senegal. You might shell. Who knows, man? You probably would have lost to Senegal too. The point is, we got to do better, and don't think that this is like, oh, this is just the early stages. 2026. Let me tell you something. Yes, we're young, so based on age, they would be like in their prime. So you think, but here's the thing. This team is very injury prone. These group of players, the Weas, the McKinneys, the Adams, the Pulisic, they're not guaranteed to be fully fit about time that, like, I don't know why you think you can just sprinkle some fairy dust and just zoom to 2026 and they're all going to be healthy. I think this was a miracle that they all was remotely healthy enough to play in this World Cup. That's not guaranteed 4 years from now. It's just not. So you got to capitalize on these opportunities. By the grace of God, we're lucky that we get an automatic bid because it's here in North America. Because I don't know if we would be healthy enough to qualify. You assume so based on talent, but you just don't know. Put a little, you know what I'm saying, a little ashy, a little chat. But yeah, I listen. Kudos to getting there. Kudos to getting out of the group. They played. They worked, man. They worked. I will say they worked. Some of them. Haji Wright might be the laziest presser I've ever seen. I don't know what he does. That's the thing. What makes him better than P Falk? I've seen P Falk sprint in a game against Honduras from our end of the goal all the way to midfield to press the center backs. I've seen him run, hold the ball up, and work hard. I think he was judged unfairly because he stopped scoring goals. But guess what? If that's really not the U.S.'s main thing that they need from their striker, then why is he being held like responsible for not scoring? Doesn't make sense. And if scoring was a thing, then how does Pepe left off when he's been informed heading right into the World Cup? Like he's over he's over in the Eredivisie going off like with goal contributions. How is he? So one of them got to make sense. If it doesn't matter if it's more about your striker pressing and holding the ball up to get your other players involved, then P Falk should have been in. If that's isn't it, and you want a striker who's informed, scoring goals, clinical around the penalty area, then it's Pepe. So like either way, something didn't add up to me. Something didn't add up to me. That didn't add up. But I'm going off on a tangent, man. I'm sorry. Just I feel a way about how we went out. Our right back and left backs let us down. Terrible first touches. I'm serious. We need academies to pick up the like pop like on us being polished with the ball. Like I remember back in 20 what was it 2010 we need like against Slovenia or something like that. Like I was like I've never seen this nation play football, but why do they possess and pass the ball much better than us? Why they look like a mini Spain? It looks crazy. It's crazy, man. But shout out to the ones who worked hard. Listen, Tyler Adams had a stinker today, but he was either him or him. Either I would say Adams, Pulisic, and Ream were my three players of the tournament for us. Um, Also, you can argue throw in Matt Turner. I thought Musa was gas too. Musa was not effective. Mid Kenny, man. I don't get it, man. I don't get y'all love for Weston McKinney like that. I'm gonna be real with you. To me, if he's not scoring like he's a flash player. Like if he's not scoring like game winning goals, game tying goals, or making like a killer one pass like the pass he made to Dest gave laid off to Pulisic. Like he might give you one of those and it'll make up for everything he did. But if you want to progress, you need a player that's good from beginning to end. You don't need a flash player that's going to create a moment. It might be impactful, but what good is that moment if you're already down? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm not a big fan. I think we need to get better midfield players. We need a clinical striker. And honestly, as good as Zimmerman and Ream played, we need Miles Robinson back healthy. We need Richards, who's a stud. We need those guys back in the fold. And goaltender, we're always going to have like one of those good, solid goaltenders, goalkeepers that we can rely on. And we need a new manager desperately. I wouldn't go with Jesse Marsh. I wouldn't. I don't like his tactics really either. I know he comes from that culture of pressing and things like that, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to mess with him. We had to just figure it out. But yeah, man. Shout out to the Netherlands. They played the winner of Australia versus Argentina. And like if Australia upsets Argentina, You guys could have, we could have been playing Australia in the quarters to go to the semis. Don't let, listen, I need Australia not to win because that's all I'm going to be thinking about is what if, right? But that's neither here nor there. Look, like, comment, subscribe. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's very cliche. But if you got any comments, let me know. Peace. Welcome to Top Tier Podcast Sports, bringing you your best, particularly of Michigan football and basketball takes. Also, I'm a big time world football. Here in the States, we call it soccer fan. But yeah, man, we're gonna be here rocking out, being real, honest. I'm gonna eventually have the call in show so y'all can call and give me y'all takes, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Expanding the brand. So join me. We're gonna have fun and keep subscribing. Appreciate you.